Have you ever felt that, all of a sudden, everything around you seems a bit off, as if something has changed without warning? Imagine that these changes aren't just a figment of your imagination, but rather signs that you could be moving between different realities without even realizing it. While this may sound like something out of science fiction, parallel realities are a topic that quantum physics takes seriously, opening up the possibility that multiple versions of the universe coexist simultaneously. But what does this mean for you? It might affect you in ways deeper than you think. Have you ever questioned whether your thoughts and choices hold the power to alter your reality? Is it possible that each small decision is crafting a different version of yourself and your surroundings without you noticing? The answer is simpler than it seems. Yes, every emotion, every action, even the tiniest ones, can trigger a shift in your life, leading you toward a new version of yourself. In many cases, these changes are almost imperceptible, but at other times they can be significant enough to challenge your perception of what is real. The version of you that exists right now may not be the same as the one from just moments ago. This constant movement between different states of reality is what makes personal transformation so powerful. A shift in your perspective has the potential to completely alter the course of your life, aligning you with an improved version of yourself. But how can you recognize that you've transitioned into another reality? Today we'll explore the signs that indicate you may have made that leap without even noticing. If you are enjoying this content, and it's helping you understand how parallel realities influence your life, I invite you to give a like and subscribe to the channel. This will help us continue to grow and bring more valuable information to you. Additionally, don't forget that in the description you can find the link to download my ebook, Divine Essence: Rediscovering Your Inner Self and Spiritual Peace. It will help you delve even deeper into your personal transformation journey. Perhaps you have already transitioned to a new reality without even realizing it. As you delve into this topic, you may come to understand that your life is shaped by these subtle changes that continuously propel you toward your highest potential. If everything around you can change without your awareness, what is really happening with your reality? Although the idea of parallel realities might seem complex, at its core, it suggests that life does not follow a straight line. Instead, we navigate through multiple versions of reality, crafted by our choices, thoughts, and emotions. Imagine your life as a vast ocean filled with possibilities. Each wave that rises represents a new version of your reality. As you make decisions, those waves rearrange, creating a new path. This path may appear nearly identical to the previous one, or, at times, completely different. What determines this transition is your state of consciousness. Interestingly, in most cases you only realize you've changed realities once you're already within it. Understanding this concept is crucial to recognizing how much you can shape your own life experience. You are not merely a passive observer of reality. You are an active creator, constantly influencing the various versions of the worlds unfolding around you. Every small choice you make, no matter how insignificant it may seem, has the power to shift you toward a new line of reality. However, this understanding raises a fundamental question. If we are in constant motion between these realities, how can we harness that power for our personal growth? How can we align ourselves with the version of ourselves that we truly wish to be? The first step on this path of self-discovery is learning to identify the moments when these transitions occur, allowing us to consciously transform our reality. If you take a moment to observe the smallest details in your daily life, you might start to notice that occasionally something feels out of place. Perhaps you are certain you left your keys in a specific spot, only to find them suddenly in another location. Or you might sense, for no apparent reason, that something in your environment has changed, even though everything seems the same at first glance. These minor adjustments in reality could be signs that you are moving between different versions of your world. What may appear to be a minor discrepancy, like an object out of place or a feeling of disconnection, can indicate that you have transitioned to another line of reality. In those moments, you are no longer exactly where you were before. Imagine your life as a series of paths that continuously branch out. Every decision you make and every emotion you experience guides you down a different trail. Some transitions are so subtle that you barely notice them, yet even those seemingly minor adjustments can lead you to an entirely new destination. A clear example of these movements can be seen in déjà vu, the feeling of having lived a moment before but with a slight change. It's as if you're reliving a slightly different version of the present. Sometimes, these alterations are so subtle that they only become evident over time, as you start to notice a series of small differences in your daily life. Beyond misplaced objects, there are also moments when you feel a shift in your own energy. Perhaps one day you wake up with renewed mental clarity, a sense of purpose that you didn't have before, as if something inside you has clicked into place. These are signs that an internal transformation has occurred, and your external reality begins to reflect that change. Recognizing these changes is the first step in understanding how much you truly influence your reality. It's not just about noticing a key in a different spot. It's about grasping that those small adjustments can signal a much deeper transformation. These movements, while subtle, happen all the time, and the more aware you become of them, the more you can use them to intentionally shape your future. Aligning your consciousness with these changes allows you to make more deliberate choices. Instead of passively reacting to your surroundings, you become an active co-creator of your reality. This awareness helps you strengthen your connection with the version of yourself you wish to manifest, making personal development a tangible and present process. Observing these small changes requires more than just attention. It necessitates being present in the moment, consciously. Often we become so immersed in our daily routines that we fail to perceive the subtle shifts that are constantly occurring around us. When you begin to ask yourself what feels different or why something seems out of place, you start to open a new door to perception. That door leads you to a deeper understanding of how your reality is in constant adjustment, shaped by your choices and intentions. As you become more aware of these small signs, you also align more and more with the parallel version of yourself. Every minor change in your reality presents an opportunity for reflection. So, when you notice one of these adjustments, take a moment to ask yourself, how does this change reflect who I am becoming? It is in this state of awareness that the true power of transformation begins to emerge. Sometimes you may recall an event from the past with absolute clarity, only to later discover that it didn't occur exactly as you remembered. This phenomenon, where memories seem to shift or adjust in unexpected ways, could be a sign that you've transitioned to a parallel reality. As we shift realities, our memories can subtly adjust, creating a new narrative of the past that, while familiar, isn't precisely the same as it was before. Our memories are not exact recordings of events. In fact, they are highly malleable. The brain, in its adaptability, reconstructs memories every time we access them. This means that with each recollection, you could be altering small details without realizing it. So what once seemed clear and immutable can become hazy or even different. Neuroscience refers to this as brain plasticity, the brain's ability to adapt and change by reorganizing neural connections based on new experiences and information. However, this reconstructive ability is not just a quirk of the human mind, it is also a means of adapting to the new reality we find ourselves in. When we consider the concept of parallel realities, this takes on a new dimension. If every time we shift realities there is a subtle alteration in our life path, it makes sense that our memories would also adjust. An event that once seemed clear may have different nuances in a new reality. What's fascinating is that these changes are not abrupt. They are so subtle that at first, you may not realize that something is different until you confront a new version of that memory. This phenomenon is often associated with the idea of false memory, where you are sure something happened in a certain way, but when you review it, the details are different. A popular example is the so-called Mandela effect, where large groups of people remember an event or fact differently than it is recorded. These divergent memories can create discomfort as they challenge the notion of continuity and stability. However, this phenomenon is not just a psychological curiosity. It reveals the malleability of our perception. Brain plasticity demonstrates that our minds are constantly restructuring and reorganizing memories based on our current understanding of reality. This doesn't mean our memories are false or invalid, rather, they are dynamic interpretations influenced by our experiences and the context in which we find ourselves. These small adjustments might indicate that you're accessing a memory from a new reality, where certain aspects of the past have been reinterpreted or reorganized to align with your current version. The more attention you pay to these moments, the more apparent it will become how fluid the perception of the past can be. And this transformation occurs not only around you but also within you, adjusting how you connect with your own memories. The big question here is, how fixed is the past that you remember? If every new version of reality brings with it new ways of interpreting what has already happened, then what is the past really? By understanding how malleable our memories are, we also realize that we are not prisoners of what we believe has occurred. Just as the present is flexible, the past can also be viewed from a new perspective. This understanding empowers us. When we grasp this, we can learn to relax the bonds that the past imposes on us. Stories of pain, regret, or frustration can be recontextualized. You can free yourself from old narratives that hold you back, knowing that the past you remember may be just one version among many. Just as reality adjusts, you can choose which version of the past you want to carry with you. Moreover, science shows us that when we access our memories, we activate specific neural networks. As our consciousness expands and changes, those networks also modify. Each time you revisit a memory, it is edited according to your current state of being. Thus, the perception of the past becomes a reflection of who you are in the present, not just of who you were when the event occurred. This notion that the past can also change as reality changes is truly liberating. It allows us to see our personal history as fluid, not as a burden that defines who we are, but as a collection of experiences that can be reinterpreted. As you evolve and change, your memories do too, adapting to your new reality. There are moments when reality seems to abruptly fracture, as if something no longer fits within the expected sequence of events. These moments of discontinuity, when the usual flow of things appears to change without logical explanation, can be clear signs that you have jumped into a parallel reality. Instances where it feels as though a drastic event has been averted or altered in an inexplicable manner often leave us bewildered, as if the sequence of events has been interrupted or adjusted. Perhaps on a deeper level, that's exactly what has happened. These pauses in continuity are not mere coincidences or interruptions in perception. They can be signals that, at a quantum level, you have transitioned to a new version of reality, one where a disaster was avoided, for instance. This suggests that, in the face of a potentially impactful event, your consciousness made a rapid transition to a reality where the outcome was different from what initially seemed inevitable. Such transitions can happen so suddenly that the mind attempts to justify what has occurred. You might ask yourself, how did this change happen? When confronted with these events, your logical mind will search for an explanation, but often there's no rational answer that fully satisfies that inquiry. That feeling that something isn't right could be an indication that you have made an abrupt shift between realities, landing in a timeline where the tragic or dramatic outcome didn't materialize. These moments of discontinuity are particularly common in situations of extreme risk, such as near accidents or emotional crises, where the intensity of the event seems to disrupt the normal flow of time. There are accounts of people who, in near-death situations, experienced a suspension of time, where everything appeared to slow down or speed up, and then, suddenly, everything returned to normal, as if no danger had occurred. These episodes might reflect quantum transitions to another timeline. This notion is deeply connected to the idea that in each parallel reality, different outcomes are possible. In one reality, the accident could have happened, while in another you emerged unscathed. When we navigate moments of emotional or physical intensity, our consciousness may be in a heightened state of receptivity, facilitating these transitions between realities. What may seem like an inexplicable event at first glance could, in fact, be a reflection of a transition to a version of your life where the outcome was more favorable. These pauses in continuity can also serve as powerful reminders that reality isn't as fixed as it appears. The rigidity we attribute to our daily experiences might just be an illusion. If you're enjoying this content and it's helping you better understand how parallel realities influence your life, I invite you to give a like and subscribe to the channel. This will help us continue growing and bringing more valuable information to you. Additionally, don't forget that in the description you can find the link to download my ebook, Divine Essence: Rediscovering Your Inner Self and Spiritual Peace. It will assist you in delving deeper into your personal transformation journey. When we experience these events, we are challenged to question our beliefs about the nature of reality and how it is shaped. This opens the door to new opportunities. If you can shift into a reality where the negative has been avoided, how far does this power extend? These seemingly inexplicable experiences can be seen as moments of revelation. They invite us to pause and reconsider the world around us, as well as the active role we play in creating our experiences. Instead of ignoring these events, we can learn to recognize them as gateways to different paths of existence, paths that are always available to us. Now that you've begun to notice the subtle signs of transitions between realities, from small adjustments in your daily life to alterations in your perception of the past and breaks in continuity, a key question arises. What will you do with this knowledge? By consciously identifying these signs, you gain the power to direct your experience. Understanding that reality is not fixed, that time and events can be altered, offers you a new perspective on life, where infinite possibilities lie within your reach. This vision completely transforms your interaction with your environment. You are no longer just an observer of events, you become a conscious creator of your destiny. To shape the reality you desire, it is essential to focus on the present. The now is the only tangible moment, the point of power from which all potential future realities emerge. When you remain present and focused, you connect with the ability to influence what is to come. Paying attention to your thoughts, emotions, and actions in the present allows you to direct the energy of your consciousness toward creating the reality you yearn for. A powerful technique to exercise this control is visualization. By vividly imagining your ideal version, you begin to map out a mental guide that directs your decisions and actions. Visualization is not just a tool for optimism, it is a transformative technique. As you visualize, your brain activates new connections that make that ideal version more attainable and tangible. The key lies in visualizing with great detail and emotion, allowing yourself to feel as if you are already living in that reality. In addition to visualization, it's essential to implement daily habits that reflect this new version of yourself. Small intentional actions, no matter how simple they may seem, create a cumulative effect over time. For instance, if you want to align with a healthier version of yourself, you can start by making minor changes, like improving your diet or adopting an exercise routine. These habits, while straightforward, begin to transform your perception and eventually your reality. Over time, these actions naturally integrate into who you are, and the new reality you visualize starts to manifest. Lastly, an essential component of consciously choosing your reality is paying attention to your emotions. They are key indicators of whether you are aligned with the reality you wish to create. When your emotions resonate with your goal, you will notice that the path to that new reality flows more easily. The idea that we are in constant transition, moving between various realities, is part of a natural process of personal evolution. Life, after all, is a continuous cycle of transformation. The version of yourself that existed a year ago is no longer the same, and the version you will become in the future depends on the choices you make today. Each small transformation that occurs in your life is, in fact, a doorway to a new reality. The more aware you are of those subtle changes, the more you can guide them to align with your aspirations and goals. Understanding that these transitions are part of a natural cycle brings a sense of peace. Instead of resisting changes or feeling lost during moments of confusion, you can accept them as an essential part of your growth process. Life does not follow a straight line. It is in constant motion, offering you a new opportunity at every moment to readjust and connect with the version of reality that most aligns with your true self. The true power lies not in controlling every detail of what happens around you, but in realizing that at every moment your choices, emotions, and thoughts are shaping your experiences. This understanding brings great freedom. When you realize that reality is not something that simply happens to you, but that you have influence over it, you free yourself from feelings of helplessness. Remember, the power is in your hands. With every decision, no matter how small, you move closer to the version of yourself you wish to be, and with that, the world around you will start to reflect the new reality you are creating. I hope this video has helped you better understand the subtle changes between realities. If you liked it, don't forget to give it a like, subscribe, and share it with anyone you think might benefit from this content. This helps us grow and bring more interesting topics to you. And remember, you can download my ebook, Divine Essence, Rediscovering Your Inner Self and Spiritual Peace. The link is in the description. Now, if you want to continue on this path of self-discovery and expansion, click on the next video that appears on the screen. We'll see you there.